In the early hours of that Thursday morning, from about 1,000 miles away, Israel launched 5 waves of airstrikes, more than 200 aircraft, dropping about 330 bombs on no less than 200 targets. At the same time, Mossad agents put in place throughout Iran used smuggled drones to sabotage Iran's anti-aircraft defense systems. Other in-country cells provided exact target information to take out missile launchers intended for use in a quick Iranian counterattack of missiles launched at Israel. Perhaps the most effective act by Israeli agents in Iran was exact identification of places where key Iranian personnel were sleeping. With remarkable precision, a whole bevy of Iranian military leaders and nuclear scientists were assassinated. More than anything, this dramatically slowed down Iran's ability to launch a counterattack against Israel. In fact, Israel fully expected a mass attack in the pre-dawn hours of Friday, 13 June. Accordingly, it triggered sirens throughout Israel, including alerts that blared from every Israeli phone, every single one. Somehow, I missed the first alert at about 3 a.m. that Friday morning. At 3:30, however, I received a phone call informing me of what was underway, urging me to return to Jerusalem as soon as possible, where I would be near a mamad, a bomb shelter, and not be alone. Blurry-eyed but quickly awakened, I hastily dressed, gathered up my things, and drove to Jerusalem. Roads were mostly empty, making travel quick. Arriving at about 4:30 in the morning, I scanned reports. With tired eyes and lots of stubble, I filed a brief report. Shortly thereafter, still before sunrise, Prime Minister Netanyahu addressed the nation.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey. This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. And Iran plans to give those weapons, nuclear weapons, to its terrorist proxies. That would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear nightmare to the cities of Europe and eventually to America. Remember, Iran calls Israel the small Satan. It calls America the great Satan. And this is why for decades, it's led millions in the chants of death to Israel and death to America. Today, Israel is responding to those genocidal calls. The Jewish people and the Jewish state vowed, never again. Well, never again is now. Today, Israel has shown that we have learned the lessons of history. When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Today, our strong and courageous soldiers and people stand together to defend ourselves against those who seek our destruction. And by defending ourselves, we defend many others and we roll back a murderous tyranny. Generations from now, history will record that our generation stood its ground, acted in time, and secured our common future. May God bless Israel. May God bless the forces of civilization everywhere. Thank you.
Israel's military campaign, he said, is called Operation Am Kelavi, which means nation like a lion. It comes directly from Numbers 23:24. Look, a people lifts itself up like a lion. It shall not lie down until it devours the prey and drinks the blood of the slain. Surprisingly, at that time on Friday morning, there had not yet been a counterattack from Iran. Several hours later, however, the first attack of many waves to follow was launched by the Islamic State of Iran against the Jewish state of Israel. There were about 100 missiles and drones in that first attack. Most of them approached from the north over Syria, where all of them were intercepted. Reportedly, those interceptions included assistance from the United States, the United Kingdom, and even Saudi Arabia. In the days since, all the way up to today, wave after wave of missile and drone attacks have been launched against the Jewish state. Unfortunately, some have gotten through.
Oh my God.
Opa. תפילות.
אולי לא קרה.
So far, tragically, about a dozen Israelis have been killed and several hundred injured. Virtually all of these attacks happened in the middle of the night. Last night, Sunday to Monday, no less than 3 sirens sounded, sending all of us to bomb shelters. If you are not yet a subscriber to endtimes.com and would like to see the rest of this important report and others like it, I urge you to subscribe right now at the website endtimes.com. For only $7 a month, you will receive a wealth of information and insight from Jimmy Evans, Mark Hitchcock, and experts from around the world, including Israelis, living right here in the Jewish state. Do yourself a favor. Sign up today.